I'm one of those guys that's been living with HIV since the early 90s. I was supposed to die before I was 30 and didn't. Now I'm the Canadian Positive People Network's Executive Director. The obstacles are so many. Where to start? Where I always start is this notion of engagement, involvement. There are principles out there, and we all know that, maybe we don't all know, but GPA, the greater involvement of people living with HIV, and MIPA, the meaningful engagement of people living with HIV, these were principles that were born way back. This work is being done for us. We need to be engaged in that work, because the people who are deciding what the targets ought to be, or what the politicians take to the podium to suggest is the right way forward or where we're at with it, doesn't take into account how it affects me locally, in my life, in this day, at this time. One of my biggest concerns is that we're setting ourselves up to achieve goals and achieve targets around treatment issues, when treatment issues for so many people are just not that simple. And when we hear the Government of Canada or the Public Health Agency of Canada talking about where we're at with 90-90-90, we never hear about how we got to where we're at. So if they want us to meet the 90-90-90 targets, we need to be engaging more with people who live the life, breathe the air, and really are the most affected by whatever targets they are and for whatever reasons they exist. And I don't see that's happening enough. I'm not suggesting that the policymakers and the politicians aren't the right people to make things happen, but they're making assumptions on our behalf, and that's dangerous. And they're doing it at all levels. Fight hard. Fight hard to realize that 90-90-90 sounds great. It's a global effort that we ought to be behind. Canada is not so primitive that we shouldn't be. We should be leading the charge. But we can't do it in isolation. So service providers need to understand that we have choices to make, and they are our choices to make. They need to realize that they are in service to us, with us, and for us. We need to realize that too. We have a responsibility to share the ownership as people living with HIV, to make sure that the services that are being provided are the services we need, and the services that we've asked for, and the services, frankly, that we deserve after all these years. 90-90-90 sounds like a wonderfully politically correct thing, but there's way more to it than just a group of people who will have achieved something at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, I'm worried that not enough people are going to even realize that they've achieved something when they don't really know what it is to begin with. That's service providers' job, in collaboration with me as a person living with HIV and all of my contemporaries.